the balance of this environment. The Amazon demonstrates how interconnected nature truly is, where every element contributes to the survival of the whole. Within this immense forest lives an astonishing portion of the planet's biodiversity. Scientists estimate that the Amazon contains around 10% of all known species on Earth. Countless animals, birds, insects, and plants make their homes beneath the tower, move silently through the shadows, while colorful birds fill the skies above the treetops. High in the branches, macaws and toucans glide between trees, their bright feathers flashing against the deep green forest. Meanwhile, in the murky waters of the rivers, unusual creatures such as pink river dolphins swim gracefully through the currents. Every species, whether predator or pollinator, predator or prey, the rainforest canopy lives one of the Amazon's most recognizable birds, the toucan. With its oversized beak glowing in vivid shades of orange, yellow, and green, the toucan seems almost like a splash of paint against the deep green forest. Although its bill appears heavy and decorative, it is actually a highly specialized tool. The long beak allows the bird to reach fruits growing on delicate. However, this remarkable ecosystem now faces growing challenges. Human activities such as deforestation, mining, and large-scale agriculture are steadily altering the landscape. Trees that once stood for centuries are being cleared, disrupting habitats and threatening the survival of countless species. When forests disappear, the balance of the ecosystem begins to weaken. Animals lose their homes, plant life declines, and the delicate relationships between species. Beyond the rivers, beneath the towering canopy, and far from the reach of modern civilization, there are regions of the Amazon that remain largely untouched. These remote areas are among the least explored places on Earth, where dense vegetation and challenging terrain have kept much of the landscape hidden from the outside world. Within these isolated parts of the rainforest live indigenous communities who have had little or no contact with modern society. For generations, they have survived by relying entirely on the forest, drawing food, shelter, and knowledge from their surroundings. Local communities are working to establish protected territories where both biodiversity and indigenous cultures can be preserved. These protected areas act as barriers against deforestation and help maintain the integrity of the ecosystem. Technology is also playing a growing role in conservation. Satellites monitor changes in forest cover, while researchers use advanced tools to study wildlife and track environmental shifts. These innovations provide valuable data that supports efforts to manage and protect the rainforest more effectively. As time moves forward, the story of the Amazon continues to unfold in ways both inspiring and uncertain. This vast rainforest, shaped over millions of years, now stands at a delicate point in its existence. It remains one of the greatest expressions of life on Earth, yet its future depends increasingly on the choices made beyond its borders. Across the globe, awareness about the importance of the Amazon is steadily growing. In the end, the Amazon is more than a rainforest. It is a symbol of life's resilience, a guardian of Earth's balance, and a living connection between the past, present, and future. Its rivers will continue to flow, its forests will continue to grow, and its countless species will continue their silent existence, if given the chance. The responsibility now lies with humanity to ensure that this extraordinary world does not fade, but instead continues to thrive as one of the planet's, creating temporary aquatic worlds within the forest. Trees adapted to these conditions stand partially submerged for months, their roots and trunks enduring prolonged flooding. Fish swim between their branches, feeding on fruits and seeds that fall into the water. In this unusual environment, the boundaries between land and river disappear, forming a unique habitat known as flooded forest. When the rains subside, the waters gradually retreat. The forest floor re-emerges, enriched with nutrients carried by the floodwaters. This natural process renews the soil, allowing plants to grow with renewed strength. Patterns within the Amazon are also influenced by the forest itself. Through a process known as evapotranspiration, trees release vast amounts of moisture into the atmosphere. This moisture forms clouds that return as rainfall, sustaining the cycle that keeps the forest alive. This self-sustaining system demonstrates the Amazon's remarkable ability to regulate its own environment. The forest creates the very conditions it needs to survive, maintaining a balance that has persisted for millions of years. However, disruptions to this balance can have far-reaching effects. Changes in rainfall patterns, whether due to natural variation or human influence, can alter the timing and intensity of floods. When these cycles shift, species that depend on predictable conditions may struggle to adapt. Despite these challenges, life within the Amazon continues to adjust and evolve. Plants develop new strategies to survive changing conditions, while animals modify their behaviors to cope with shifting environments. This constant adaptation is a testament to the resilience built into the ecosystem. The Amazon's seasonal rhythms remind us that change is not a threat, but a fundamental part of life. It is through these cycles that the forest renews itself, ensuring its survival across generations. In every flood and every retreat of water, the Amazon tells a story of transformation, a story that continues to unfold with each passing year, shaping one of the most extraordinary environments on Earth. At times, the balance of the Amazon is tested by forces that push the limits of its endurance. Among these challenges are extreme weather events that can reshape large portions of the forest in relatively short periods. Intense droughts, unusually strong storms, and rising temperatures all influence how this vast ecosystem functions. During extended dry periods, sections of the rainforest that are normally rich and humid begin to lose moisture, rivers shrink, wetlands dry out, and the dense greenery can become vulnerable. In such conditions, even a small spark can lead to fires that spread across large areas, something that is rare in a naturally wet environment like the Amazon. Fires, whether caused by natural factors or human activity, can have lasting consequences. Trees that have taken decades or even centuries to grow may be lost within hours. The destruction of vegetation not only removes habitat for wildlife, but also releases large amounts of stored carbon back into the atmosphere, contributing to further environmental change. In areas affected by repeated disturbances, the forest may struggle to return to its original state. Instead of dense rainforest, some regions risk transforming into more open landscapes with fewer species and reduced biodiversity. This shift can alter the delicate balance that supports life throughout the ecosystem. Storms also play a powerful role in shaping the Amazon. Strong winds can bring down massive trees, opening gaps in the canopy. While this may seem destructive, it also creates opportunities. Sunlight reaches the forest floor through these openings, allowing new plants to grow and begin the process of renewal. This pattern of disturbance and recovery is part of the forest's natural cycle. However, when such events become more frequent or intense, the system can be pushed beyond its ability to recover fully. The resilience of the Amazon depends on maintaining a balance between disruption and regeneration. Climate change adds further complexity to this situation. Shifts in global temperatures can influence rainfall patterns, making some regions wetter while others become drier. These changes can disrupt migration patterns, breeding cycles, and food availability for many species. Despite these pressures, the Amazon continues to demonstrate remarkable strength. In many areas, new growth quickly follows destruction. Seeds carried by wind, water, and animals find their way into damaged regions, beginning the slow process of rebuilding the forest. Scientists study these patterns closely to understand how the Amazon responds to environmental stress. Their research helps identify which areas are most vulnerable and which strategies can best support recovery. This knowledge is essential for developing effective conservation plans. Communities living near the forest are also adapting. Sustainable land use practices, fire management techniques, and restoration efforts are helping to reduce damage and encourage regrowth. These local actions, combined with global awareness, contribute to the ongoing effort to protect the rainforest. The story of the Amazon is not one of fragility alone, but of resilience under pressure. Even in the face of challenges, life persists, adapts, and continues its cycle. In this ever-changing environment, the Amazon stands as a powerful example of nature's ability to endure, a reminder that even the greatest ecosystems must be protected if they are to survive in a rapidly changing world.